Hello and welcome to today's edition of Sabita Show. Today we reflect on Nigeria 2023 general elections and the post-presidential election matters arising. And with me to discuss this is Dr. Stephen Oguji, the foremost campaigner for ASO Politics First. Dr. Stephen, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Okay, can you intimate yourself with our audience?
Good afternoon, Nigerians. Like the anchor said, my name is Dr. Stephen Oguji, a lecturer in the Department of Philosophy, Imo State University of Owerri, and the convener, Politics First, Nigeria. Thank you very much.
All right, Doctor. Last time you were here, you encouraged people to go out and pick up their PVCs, to vote, to shun voters apathy and all that. But with the recent occurrence of the election, people were saying that their vote did not count. So what's your take on the presidential election conducted on February 25th this year?
My take is that the INEC, first of all, did well by keeping to schedule. For a long time, we've heard the presidential election will take place on 25th of February 2023, as against what happened in 2019, when it was postponed 4 days to the election. But, again, Nigerians trooped out with the high hopes, the promise of the beavers, the promise of transparency, and all that many promises that INEC made to Nigerians electorate. The young people, the elderly, businessmen, many people abandoned whatever they have to do, that they trooped out en masse to express their franchise, to vote their desired leader. But eventually, as expected, as has played out in the same election conducted by INEC in different states in Nigeria, Osun, Ekiti, and Anambra, Nigerians expected the results to reel out in real time in INEC server, few hours after the election. But the whole of Saturday, the whole of Sunday, until Monday when collation started, there was no results seen on INEC portal. To the extent that party agents, the PDP, the Labour, ADC, SDP, and many other party agents at the National Collation Center in Abuja protested, asked INEC to keep to their rule by uploading the result in real time, so that Nigerians and everybody in any part of the world can see what actually played out in the polling units, so that they can now tally with the paper presentation. But INEC, led by the chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, denied that such a thing existed in the electoral law, which we all know that the significant input in the 2022 electoral law is electronic transmission of results. That is the major improvement from the 2006 electoral law, because we operated with the 2006 electoral law until last year, 2020, until 2022, when the new law was passed and signed on 25th February 2022. So we are really devastated that the chairman denied that electronic transmission was inserted in the law. So it is heart-rending, it's disappointing. Nigerians are not happy. I am not happy myself, given the kind of energy I personally put in, my resources, my time, many things I put in to convince Nigerians to make effort to make sure that people get interested in Nigerian politics and do the needful, which they have done. But the umpire doesn't seem impartial. Umpire appears to be partial in many ways.
Okay, beautiful. Now we have a president-elect, Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu, but there is this a general disenchantment across the nation that you can literally feel it, where people don't have the zeal to vote again the forthcoming election, that is the governorship and the state assembly election coming on March 11th. So what's your say to Nigerians with regard to that?
Well, I will encourage Nigerians not to be discouraged. This is our country, we have to build it. Two wrongs don't make a right. I will encourage Nigerians, especially the young people who trooped out on 25th February, to repeat the same thing on 11th March. Come out and vote your preferred candidate. Show them that you are not interested. Because one thing that kills a society is voter apathy. People not showing interest. Because like the name of my organization says, politics first. Political power influences everything. Political power determines education, determines security, determines welfare, determines economy, many things. So that if we neglect politics, it means we are neglecting education, we are neglecting security, we are neglecting the economy. In fact, we are actually saying we are no longer part of the Nigerian project. So I'm encouraging every Nigerian not to give up. Quitters don't win, winners don't quit.
Beautiful. Okay, let's talk about what happens at various polling units across the nation. There are cases, glaring videos that showed case of pure violence, where voters' lives were threatened that if you can't vote for a particular candidate, you should leave the polling unit. So in that case, beyond the INEC collation and all that, so what do you make of such system that already impairing the result before INEC collects it?
It is part of the complaint of Nigerians that it appears that there were powers that colluded with INEC and security agents. Because I actually saw that clip on social media where a particular person was threatening voters who have already converged to vote that if you're not ready to vote a particular party, you should leave that venue. What was expected of the security agents, the police and whoever that is there, is to stop that. But eventually the police was seen trying to beg, to plead. So it is disappointing that such a thing could happen in a polling unit. In fact, that already calls for cancellation of that particular polling unit and any other place that such a thing happened. But eventually the chairman said, we will look at those issues when we have announced, which is the anger of Nigerians. Normally, the law allows INEC, the new electoral law, 2022 electoral law, allows INEC chairman to have 1 full week after the results have been collected to review before pronouncing. But how he hurriedly pronounced the winner without looking at people's complaints and grudges beats every imagination.
Okay. Anyways, the INEC chairman is a professor. And the way Nigeria electoral system is structured, because I want to look at the academia now. The way Nigeria electoral system is structured is that professors act as collation officers, especially at the state level and the national level. And there is this accusation that professors actually collude or we are bribed to collect false results. And at the end of the day, elect thugs or touts who now come back to send the university on strike. So what do you make of such people in academia who help to imperil the nation?
Well, let me be fair because this is my constituency.
Yeah.
Professors are not polling unit agents. The real election happens in polling units. A professor is like a recorder who receives reports from polling units, from wards, from local government, then at the state level. So I'm not trying to absolve anybody, but the fact is that and that's why the Electoral Act says that the results should be transmitted from polling units, because that is where the real thing happens. Once the problem starts from polling unit, the professor at the state level is helpless, because you cannot an agent from the polling unit, from the ward, from the local government cannot say that APC or PDP or Labour scored 100, 200, and you that was not there will start challenging. It is not a duty to challenge. The law actually sets the challenge at the polling unit. That's why the law wants the result transmitted directly, so that the professor should have a basis to compare what is being brought to him. Yeah. So I'm not trying to absolve anybody, but that's the way I see it. But that notwithstanding, that's not to say that there are corrupt men and women in the academia. Of course, there's this trending word now. There's what we call professors and fraudfessors. People who actually go with the title professor, but in their activities, in the way they live their life, they're actually fraudsters. So we are sad about that. That shouldn't be the case. But such men are not the best for the society. They are not the people that we should look up to. There are good professors, and they are the examples that we should look up to.
Okay, let's talk about the man P2B.
Okay.
Because in this election, of course, he came third position, and polls rather before the election actually showed that he is most likely to be the winner. So, but we saw what happened in the election, and he came third and all that. So, what do you make of his candidacy and his general performance in the election?
Well, like you rightly pointed out, NOI polls that they did 3 times, did one in September last year, did one in December, and did one in this February. All of them projected P2B as a likely winner. And NOI, for your information, had projected 2011 elections in Nigeria, Jonathan was going to win and he won. They projected 2015 that Buhari was going to win, he won. They projected 2019 that Buhari was going to win, he won. So NOI predictions and polls have been largely correct in looking at Nigerian elections. So that P2B came third or lost the election is actually why what Nigerians, because Nigerians are saying that the results that INEC pronounced does not reflect the will of Nigeria. Of course, as many observers, I am an accredited JDPC observer in Owerri West, Justice Development. I observed the election. I am accredited by INEC to observe election in Owerri West and report, which I did on Saturday. So many observers, EU, the faith-based organizations, independent observers, IAGA, all these UNN, CNN observers, they have all faulted the process. Nobody is against the result, but we are all saying let's follow the rule, let's go through the process. So P2B candidacy, you can feel it that Nigerians want him. It is everywhere. You can feel it because Nigerians seem to be tired of the two dominant political parties, the APC and the PDP. And P2B, even though he might have lost the election, but he have actually woken the Nigerian political consciousness. Many people are now ready and like you can see, as at this morning, 2nd of March 2022, more than 150 persons are going to the National Assembly, Senate and House of Rep in the name of Labour Party, courtesy of P2B. So it is a thing of joy in that line that I salute his courage. I salute the man P2B, and I continue to encourage him and people like him not to give up on Nigeria. Nigeria is our project and we have to finish it.
Okay. But let's look at the general trend, like in a society where it seems there is a triumph of evil over good, and people have, well, say, rightly pointed out that there's no hope, even in the judicial system, to actually restore the will of the people, like you pointed out. So, what do you see going forward with regard to the voting system in Nigeria, the judicial system, in conjunction with this election?
Well, Nigeria is sick. Everybody knows that. Nigeria is neck deep in corruption. In the judicial system, in the education system, in the private sector, in the public sector. So, systems throw up their lives. The political experience of Nigeria in the just concluded presidential election is a reflection of the society. So it comes back for us to reorient ourselves, to know that societies rise and fall on values. If we continue to go the wrong way, we will not get there. Developed countries are countries that have learned to enshrine values as their culture, to enshrine rules and regulations, to be law-abiding, to obey the rules. That is how societies grow. As long as we do the wrong things, we continue to get the wrong results. So I encourage Nigerians, if you are tired of the system in the country, if you are tired of what is happening, please wake up. Do the right things in your own little corner. If you're a teacher, if you're a trader, if you're a businessman, if you're a government worker, do the right. That is the only way to grow. That is the only way. And I'm sorry to say it, unfortunately, most people are using religion to cover up this mess. Religion is becoming a way, because somebody said the other day that most of these election riggers, most of these thugs will go to church the next Sunday to thank God and succeeded in rigging an election. It's a pity we find ourselves in that situation, but we pray it doesn't continue. We pray that a good Nigeria, and I've always believed with P2B and so on, a new Nigeria is possible.
A new Nigeria is possible. Okay. So is that, what are your final words to INEC, to the judiciary, to Nigerians, and to Nigerians at large? Your final comments?
Number one, to INEC, they should obey the rules they made themselves. They should obey their own guidelines. They should obey the Electoral Act, because without obeying the rules, you're operating in illegality. What keeps a society is law. INEC should obey the rules. Now, there are results. People are presenting different evidence to INEC. Of course, we know the PDP, the Labour and others are now preparing their own legal action. We also ask the judiciary to please respect the will of the people, to be true to the saying that they're the last hope of the common man. And to Nigerians, we plead, like P2B just spoke about 30 minutes ago on Rise TV, that Nigeria should be calm. No need for protest. We shouldn't destroy our own, because to burn INEC offices and do the wrong things is also destroying government, and we're all government. We own whatever that Nigeria owns. So I plead with young people to keep calm. The right thing eventually will come to be. Evil will never triumph over good. Good will always triumph over evil.
Beautiful. And on that note, we come to the end of today's edition of Sapita Show. Remember, do not, because of this situation, engage in voters' apathy. Still go ahead and vote. And don't forget to like, share, and comment. But ask your questions on this video for further clarification. Thank you so much, and see you next time. Bye.